Hello and welcome to episode 5. No, told you I'd mess it up. Told you I'd mess it up. Hello and welcome to season 5, episode 3 of the Good Poets Gaming Podcast. Today we are joined by the absolutely amazing Letitia the Lemon. I am very excited for this one. I'm going to pass over to Letitia just to
Yeah.
kind of tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, where people can find you, and then we'll go into the questions and grilling you a bit about what you do.
Perfect. Thank you. So, yes, hello. I am Letitia Lemon. I am a professional voice actor, stage host at various Comic Cons, gaming expos, trading card shows. I also do content creation. It's not like a full time thing, but I do content on the
Yeah.
side because I like playing video games and I'm very good at talking, basically. So, I was like, why not combine both together? Do some streams, play some new games that I've never played before,
Yeah.
make some content around that, and it helps to balance out like all the hosting, so I can be like, yeah, I do hosting, but also here's all my other things, or vice
Yeah.
versa. So it's a good way to sort of like meld the two professions together, sort of using one to like promote the other. And yeah, I've been doing that for about I've been doing hosting for about 8 years. I've technically been doing streaming for about 8 years as well.
Wow.
But I sort of took a couple of like quite long gaps from streaming. So it's
Yeah.
more closer to like 6 working years of streaming, kind of.
Nice.
Numbers are
So
hard.
starting off with a big
Numbers are
question
hard.
then. Numbers are
They
hard, as we know from the introduction.
Yeah.
The
Um,
intro that we're definitely keeping in.
oh yes, yes. If I haven't kept it in, this sounds very strange now. But
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Facts.
so starting off very strongly then, and this is probably quite a difficult question. Which would you say you prefer, doing the in real life kind of events and stage stuff, or the kind of the streaming and the content around that?
So for me, at first, oh, my camera just decided to not focus there. Hello, I'm here. So at first, streaming sort of became something I was like really interested in. Like when I first started, I was very hesitant. I was like, oh, but what if I'm really bad and people don't like me and don't think I'm funny? But my first stream had 400 unique viewers on it, and I was just like,
Wow.
okay, people
That's
people
mental.
like me. That's a good sign. So I started doing it with the ideal to become Twitch partner to do it full time.
Yeah,
But then sort of that first of those two like big long breaks from streaming that I mentioned, when that happened, it kind
Yeah.
of like took that interest away from me. It kind of put things into perspective, and I realized just how difficult doing that is and how
Yeah.
much it doesn't agree with my brain
mm,
to make something that I enjoy something that I have to like grind at all the time that becomes a full-time job for
yeah,
me. Because
Yeah.
I always liked streaming as something to do to like unwind with some friends in the evenings, because I mostly do evening streams. So I
yeah,
like it as a way to just like chill and play some games for a little bit before bed. Like it's very rare for me to do daytime streams, and when I do, it has a completely different vibe to it than the evening ones.
Yeah.
Um, but then like the stage hosting stuff, like the first couple of times I appeared like on stage, or like when I was doing a bit of TV presenting, I fell in love with it immediately, because I've done a lot of acting before, and
right.
like acting, obviously you are someone else, you're a character.
Mm,
Yeah.
And that's fun to do sometimes, because like you just might want to break from being yourself for a little bit. But doing stage hosting, I could just be unapologetically me and just be
Yeah.
really excited about like whoever I was interviewing, or whatever panel I was hosting, or like whatever tournament I was hyping up. And the more I fell in love with it, the more I realized like this is what I should be doing.
yeah,
Like most of my 20s, I'm just going to age myself. I'm 30. But most of my 20s, I kind of did a little bit of everything in entertainment because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And it was just sort of a
Yeah.
very indecisive part of my brain that was like, what makes me happy and what am I good at?
yeah.
Stage hosting just immediately ticked both of those boxes like without question. So sort of the past like 2-ish years, I've like really doubled down on it. So the very long-winded answer to your question is I like stage hosting more, but streaming is also fun.
So
No, I love that.
what I kind of got from that was that like stage coaching is kind of like what you want to be like the full time doing
Yes.
being here, there, everywhere, going across the world, hosting, and then streaming's kind of like a little not a side hustle, but kind of like something you do for yourself, and you
Yeah,
can
like
kind of dip in and out of.
I don't really want to approach streaming with a job mindset
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I just like playing games for fun, and if people enjoy that enough to want to, subscribe or like give me money
Excuse
for it
me.
at all, like that's entirely on them. It's not like, hey, I need this money so I can pay my bills.
Yeah.
Like it's just something that's a nice addition to it. Like
Hmm.
I don't ever want that to be my main source of income. It's way too stressful. And like
Yeah.
genuinely I commend everyone that does content full time. Like it's an insane amount of work that people who don't do any sort of content don't even realize. So
Yeah.
like genuinely I really commend people that can do it full time and are also successful with it full time because it's
Yeah.
not easy.
No, definitely not.
So you mentioned, well, clearly you're a stage host. How did you actually get into that?
So my my whole career is a little bit of a mess.
Oh, interesting.
So I started doing a lot of like immersive theater stuff when I left university. So like escape room hosting and like all those Christmas shows that people do
Oh,
every year and
wicked.
stuff like that. And also stuff like London Dungeons. Like I've not done the London Dungeons, but like the equivalents of that. So I
Yeah,
started
yeah,
doing
yeah.
a lot of that first, and I realized that I much preferred performing to an audience as opposed to doing like on camera acting. Like every time I did on
Yeah.
camera acting, I would either overthink things to death or I would spike the camera, which you're not supposed to do, or I would just like not feel like I was doing my best because it's like you don't
Yeah,
really have as much feedback. Like obviously you get it from like the director and like the crew and stuff, but it's like I want a more collective feedback. Whereas like performing to an audience, like you get that direct interaction in the moment. Like if I say something funny and people laugh, then I'm like, hey, you found that funny. I'm gonna bully you for a bit and then make you the butt of my
mm.
next joke.
Yeah.
And like things
Yeah,
like that. So I love that sort of immediate interaction and the response to it all. So that kind of then progressed a little bit towards like doing the streaming, which is kind of direct but kind of indirect because it's like it's writing on a screen but it's like it's
Yeah.
in the moment, so it's a weird mix of both. um then I started doing a little bit of TV presenting to also just sort of build up my confidence in being me and not having to become a character in a story, sort of like how I would present myself to an audience,
Yeah.
which
yeah,
was very useful, and sort of helped me shape my staging persona that I have now,
Hmm.
which is basically just a hyper realized version of me. Like it's not a character.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
and then from there, I sort of did a little bit of hosting at Comic Cons, like because of the streaming that I did. So, like I met some other creators who were doing like content panels and stuff like that. So I did a little bit of hosting with them. Then when Fallout London came out, I'm a voice actor in Fallout London. I hosted
Oh,
a
wicked.
panel at MCM Comic Con with the dev team from that. It was a hugely successful panel. Like the seats were packed out full of people. We had people
Oh,
like
amazing.
standing around the sides of the audience area, just like watching, like listening in, and it was such an incredible panel. And I was like, I put that together. I didn't host with a company. It was just, hey, I'm part of Fallout London. It's out now.
Yeah,
I'm excited. The team are excited. Let's talk about it. Like people
Yeah.
loved that. And that was sort of my first time both putting together a panel and hosting it. Because normally it's either I do one or the other. So that was the first time I
yeah,
got to do both. And then since then, I was just like, yeah, we're going to do this more. So I've been intermittently like hosting with other events companies. obviously Dan mentioned that we met at Timeless. I hosted at Timeless gaming convention a couple of weeks ago. I've hosted at loads of like trading card shows. I've done some other hosting at MCM, EGX, loads of other events like that. And yeah, like I just sort of stumbled into it in a very weird way, but in a way that made me realize that like all of these other things that I sort of took nuggets of experience from, they help sort of build up the full package there.
Yeah,
I like it.
love that.
Yeah, like
You're saying that
immersive
you
stuff was a very bizarre route that my career took because I used to have stage fright as a kid. I was just like, no, don't pay attention to me.
Really?
I don't
Yeah,
believe
and
that
then
for
now
a
I'm just like,
second.
No,
everyone
yeah.
pay attention to me.
No, like when you were at Timeless, like the way you commanded that stage, I can't. Yeah, I would never believe you had stage fright at one point.
I used to be like an anxious little wreck as a kid. I was just like, don't look at me, don't cast me in anything. But like at university, like people like, oh, you're so good at like giving presentations because like, you know, back at school, whenever you do those PowerPoints where you have to awkwardly stand in front of the class and you're just like,
Yep.
here's this topic I
Yeah.
spoke about. And everyone else would just like write random stuff on the slides and then just turn around and be like, yep, so I did this thing here and then this thing here. No, that's bad. You don't do that. You never have your back to your audience. So I would have like bullet points on there and I'd be like, okay, so here is talking point 1. And then here's loads of things that I'm going to talk about that aren't listed on the slide, but also I'm
Yeah.
going to like pace around a little bit. I'm going to talk with my hands. I'm going to point to the screen. And, you know, it became a performance in itself without me
Yeah.
realizing it. Also, the sun is now shining again, and I look like an ominous shadow. Go away, sun. We've had too much of you recently.
We have had too much sun. It's ridiculous.
It's fine. Looks
So
dramatic.
you spoke that kind of like the streaming and the content is something that like you still do, but it's not your kind of your main focus and your main goal.
Yeah.
So maybe you can either talk about this from a streaming point of view or a voice acting and stage presence point of view. But what does your kind of like creative process look kind of like just like in your day to day, or does it change?
That is a very difficult question to answer because for me, like, no 2 days are the same just because of the nature of like my other work. Because like when I'm not hosting on stage at like comic cons and stuff, I
Yeah.
am still doing like immersive hosting at various entertainment venues around London as well.
Yeah.
So that is
wicked.
also a very physical job that I am actually at and
Yeah.
not, you know, working from home. Those days can be quite long and exhausting. So normally on those days, I just sort of use all of my brain power to just focus on that job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on the days that I'm not there, there's sort of a mix between like coming up with like reels and content there, scripting stuff as well. Also, like if I have some events coming up, which I do have a couple coming up soon, I'm like planning what those panels are going to be,
Yeah.
and just sort of what other things we're going to have going on there. And then I normally do like a stream in the evening, but I also have time to myself during the day as well. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
doing a workout because I like being big and strong because I got muscles. I got
There it
muscles.
is.
So listen, I wore the tank top for a reason. I gotta
Yeah.
flex because I have a home gym now, so I just work out like over there somewhere
Yeah.
for a bit.
Nice.
It's very good for my brain. Makes me happy. And also just time to like not think for a bit. So I
Yeah.
switch my brain off, just be in the moment. I like play a game or like watch some YouTube or you know do boring things like admin and emails and
Yeah.
what have you. So it's a nice
Yeah.
mix that's never the same for any day. It just depends like what order my brain wants to do it in on a
Yeah.
specific day. Like there'll be times where I work out like in the morning after breakfast. There'll be times that I just decide, yeah, in the middle of the night, I want to bench for a bit. Why not? You know?
Why not?
Yeah.
it's
I
Love
like
yeah,
that.
it's very weird.
Not at all.
I mean,
It's just sort of like how my brain is because Like I realized recently I got diagnosed with ADHD, and
Right.
the inconsistencies in my brain are part of that, because like ADHD is a case of like a brain is lacking dopamine, so it's very difficult to focus on specific tasks because your brain doesn't have the right chemical balances to keep you functioning quote unquote normally.
Yeah.
So the way that my brain approaches things is like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I want to do? What is going to make me happy?
Mm.
Most of the time, those three things are never one specific task.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
where the difficulties come in,
Yeah.
because I then have to think about every task that I have in a specific day and then try to order them into which of those three categories that they fit, and then try and tackle each of those three categories in a way that balances out getting the right chemicals in my brain, plus productivity, plus just general satisfaction with how I've spent my time that day. It's
Bloody hell.
a lot of maths, a lot of
Yeah.
fractions going on
Yeah.
in my brain every single day. It's yeah.
I can't imagine
Bit
how
chaotic.
difficult that is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's been interesting to learn that. But now
I
it
can
sort
only
of
imagine.
makes the chaos that has been the rest of my career make sense, where I'm like, why didn't I just do one thing like everyone else that I know has done?
Mm.
Now I know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. At least you got that clarity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bit of a strange question, this, but so far in your career, have you ever had a like a pinch yourself moment? Like, I cannot believe I'm actually here doing this right now.
Oh, I've had quite a few actually. Um, now I'm thinking.
Meeting
Ooh.
Dan
Oh,
at
I'm just
timeless.
With a wave of
Me.
emotions, like things, thinking. So a few of them. I have a couple that like I don't think I can pick one favorite out of these few specific ones.
Yeah,
So
go for
first
it.
one, a few years ago when I was doing a lot more streaming than I do these days. I will be better at it. Mark my words. I will be better at streaming again. Just schedules are non-existent right now. But when schedules were existent, I did an amazing charity stream a few years ago, raising money for the C3 Foundation, which is a charity that helps treat people with alcohol use disorder, which is
Oh,
a
wow.
mental disorder.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, you're addicted to a thing and you're a terrible person. It's a genuine mental disorder, um,
Yeah.
which is something that has affected me throughout my whole life, which is why I don't drink. So I was raising money for that, and the CEO of the C3 Foundation is Claudia Christian, who is in Babylon 5. She's a prominent voice actress in Skyrim, World of Warcraft, and
Oh,
one of my
wow.
favorite
Wow.
games of all time, Fallout 4. So
Wow.
I got her on an interview before doing my charity stream, where I played all of Fallout 4 in one sitting, siding with the Railroad faction because she voiced
Wow.
Desdemona, the leader of the Railroad.
Oh, amazing.
That was a 24-hour stream, and
Bloody
Claudia
hell.
is one of the loveliest, most inspirational people that I've ever had the pleasure of speaking to. And bless her, she wanted to come in at the end of my stream as well, just to see me through the end.
Oh,
That was a genuine pinch me moment, because the fact that I managed to organize all of that by myself was
Yeah.
insane. And the fact that sort of the stars aligned of like Fallout 4 being one of my favorite games, it being a game that sort of at the time built up the kind of creator that I was. Like these days I'm way more variety focused, but back then I was very much Fallout 4 challenge runner, and that was it. Because I liked being one of the only females that ran that game, and the fact
Yeah.
that my hyperfixation was just learning everything about the game. So people coming to my streams were like, "Oh, I didn't know this before," and I'm like, "Haha, educational." Um, so like the fact that that hyperfixation, plus the fact that she was in one of my favorite games, she voiced the leader of my favorite faction in that game. Because yes, I'm a railroad agent. I don't care what other people say. I like them. And also the fact that her charity is something that's very personal to my life.
yeah.
My brain
Yeah.
was just like, I have to do something with this. Like, I
Yeah.
have to. And
Yeah, of
it was
course.
incredible. Like over that stream, I had like, I think it was over 2,000 people like watching it. It was insane. I
That's
couldn't believe
mental.
it. And I was just so proud of that because that was like the biggest streaming thing that I'd done at that time. And the fact that it went so well, and the fact that like Claudia and I are still connected on socials as well. I'm just like, this is a pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. In terms of voice acting, um, I have two for voice acting. So
Ooh,
one
Okay.
is Fallout London, because again, I have a very obvious bias for Fallout. I will probably mention it a lot. It's a great
That's fine.
franchise. As I said,
it
it
is.
built
It
up
is
It
my
is.
good.
my content creation career, and I just love the games. So yeah, the fact that I voiced 6 characters in the mod, the fact that I voiced all of their YouTube updates leading up to the release as well. So a lot of people
Wow.
knew who I was before the mod even came out.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
cool.
fact that I'm an NPC in the mod, so I exist in Fallout London canon, so I have that claim to
I'm I am
fame.
jealous.
And
Yeah.
the fact that Neil Newborn is in the mod as well, so I was just like, I'm in
Wow.
something with Neil Newborn, and
Yeah.
I got to meet him after the panel that I did, and I was like, yeah, we're voice actor buddies. So that was cool. And I was the other voice acting thing, I was award nominated for my lead role in guess what, a Fallout themed audio drama called Once Upon a Wasteland. I was best voice actress nominated at the Miami Web Fest Awards 2 years
Wow.
ago, which is my
Wow.
first award nomination for voice acting.
Definitely not the last.
So
No,
hopefully not the last.
definitely not.
Yeah, those are my big voice acting ones. Then my big stage hosting one, because I realized I've got 3 different careers. I want to talk about them all equally. My
Yeah,
voice
of
act, not
course.
my voice acting one, my stage hosting one. Sorry, is earlier this year. I was hosting at the London Card Show at the XL. And I got to do several panels with some amazing people. I got to interview Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh and
Oh
Tigger.
my god.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's an incredible person. He came on stage singing Be Prepared from Lion King, and it was incredible.
Oh
I
my
loved it. I was like,
god.
what an entrance. I also got to interview loads of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon voice actors from my childhood. So we
Oh
had
wow.
Dan Green, Erica Schroeder, Veronica Taylor, Eric Stewart. Like, they were just incredible people to talk to. And like, I've known Veronica Taylor about half my life at this point. She helped support me with my voice acting and like everything else that
Mm.
I've done.
Yeah.
And before the panel, like, she didn't know that I was the one hosting the panel. I told them to not tell her specifically. So when she came to the stage, getting all mic'd up and stuff, and then she saw me there with like my cue cards and notes that I didn't even need. They gave me cue cards, like, here's some questions for you to ask, and I was like, I know what this panel's gonna be. I don't need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she saw me, and then she said the sweetest thing to me. She said that she was proud of me, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
my
Oh,
childhood hero
that
is proud
is
of me.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That must be such a
So yeah,
nice feeling.
that was an insane moment earlier this year. So yeah, I've had some very good moments in the
Yeah,
various veins of
Yeah.
my career.
I
Go.
mean, one of those would be nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I couldn't
Exactly.
just pick one of them. Like, when you asked that question, I
Yeah.
was like, oh no, which one do I focus on?
Oh, tell us all of them. We want to hear it.
Yeah.
One thing I picked up on there, and like a bit of a follow-up question, because you have such a busy schedule, and obviously you spoke about your ADHD before, do you feel like you take enough time to kind of reflect on everything that you have done? Or it does it take you to kind of actually go, crap, I've done all right here. Do you ever get moments like that?
So I have terrible imposter syndrome, which like 99% of people in this industry have at some point. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But mine is so bad that like I need other people to remind me of the things that I have done. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, that is pretty good. Yeah, because like my whole life, my brain has always been chasing progress. Like, there is never like an end point for me. I've just
Yeah.
always been
Yeah.
that ambitious that it's like I want to do more, I want to succeed more, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like even as a kid at school, I was like, no, we've got to make more progress on like everything, which I think is why I'm really good at the gym, because I'm just like, no, I just want to keep getting more buff.
Yeah.
But just like in all aspects of my life, I just always seek progress, which I feel like is part of the ADHD lacking dopamine kind of thing, but also just because I'm just a naturally very ambitious person in general. Like
Yeah.
I want to succeed and feel fulfilled with my time existing. Um,
Yeah.
so there are a lot of times where I need people to like trigger that conversation of, hey, you've done quite a bit. And then that's sort of when I go, oh yeah, I guess I have. Because like there are other people in the industry that I really look up to, and I'm just like, I want to be as good as them one day, or some of them I want to share a stage with them one day, or like with the
Yeah.
voice acting, I want to be in a show or a game with them someday.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't like use that as a way to discredit what I have done by myself,
100%.
because this was
Yeah,
not
no,
the
of
career that I
course.
wanted to go into. Like some people knew from a young age that they wanted to like do voice acting, so they built that up over time. They got agents, they like auditioned for like so many things. I just sort of jumped into it and just sort of went with it kind of thing. And like with the hosting, it was just a case of like I just happened to find the right people at the right time and sort of try and make things work in my own way, because the hosting industry is so different now than what it was when I first started, than what it was to like some of my friends who started like years before me, who are people that I look up to. Like it's a different beast these days,
Yeah.
because it all ties into social media and influencers, and it's less about like what skills you have and like who you know in the industry. It's more of a case of, do people know you? And that's the
Yeah.
thing that I always find difficult with, because I just went down the path of, I am a host, I want to host. Whereas, other people these days have sort of gone, I'm an influencer, but people know me, so you should get me to host. So
Yeah.
it's a very difficult feeling because of how I approach things in the more old-fashioned way. But yet it still worked for me enough that I get work, but I just want to be more ambitious with the work that I get. Like there's a very incredible esports host and TV presenter who is a very dear friend of mine. I've known him like about almost half of my life now. I consider him like the older brother that I never had, because he's been so inspirational and supportive of me. His name is
Yeah.
Adam Savage, not the Mythbusters one, but his name's Adam Savage. He does a lot of stuff on Jinx TV. He does a lot of esports presenting all around the world. Like his career is insane. Like he's done so much stuff in his life, and like I look up to him so much. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, one day we will share a stage together. It'll be really awkward to frame it because he's like an entire foot taller than me, but we will share a stage together because
Tap the
he has
camera like
inspired
that.
me so, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like we'll put me on like a step ladder and stand next to him. It's fine. But like he has inspired me so much and supported me so much in my career that like the fact that someone who I see as being successful and also like very good at being on stage or in front of a
Yeah.
camera, and they say things like that about me, it kind of vindicates that I belong in the industry, even if
Yeah.
I still struggle to see it in myself at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. I
Well,
love that.
that was one of the reasons, like, after the. So, for those that don't know, with Timeless, Letitia did the kind of. What was the name of it? The dark side of
The
content creation?
content creation.
Yes,
Loved it.
so
Yes.
Love that section.
it was because every year at Timeless, we do a content creator focus panel.
Yeah.
This year, it was the dark side of content creation. So it was talking about the things that people tend to not talk about that much, like at events. Like sometimes they'll talk about it online, but it's not something that they tackle at events because of how serious like the topic is. Um,
Yeah.
so it was addressing things like about staying safe online, about how to deal with like trolls in your chat,
Yeah.
or even like some of the way more serious stuff like stalking and death threats and doxing and like that kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah.
it was very open. Everyone on the panel handled it in such a professional manner.
Yeah.
The way that I wanted to host the panel, like I told the guests this before we went on stage, that I have a few topics that I wanted to talk about with them, but I'm leaving the questions open enough where they can decide how much information they feel comfortable with sharing.
Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
of them talked about their own mental health issues. One of them did talk about some serious like stalking that they had to deal
Yeah.
with and things like that. So the fact that they felt open enough to share that, to sort of give advice to other people as well, it made the panel have an impact on the audience enough that we had people like coming up to me after the panel was over, like saying how it was the best creator panel that Timeless has had.
I was one of
How,
them.
yep, I was one of them,
Agreed.
and how they needed people to talk about that kind of stuff. And the fact that people like they approach content creation in a way where they only think about the positives. So when the negatives happen, they're just like, oh, what do I do with this? Like, how
Yeah.
do I deal with it? So it
Yeah.
sort of helped prepare them a little bit more as well. And it was a very insightful panel because like I knew like some of the panelists, like they're my friends. Um, but just getting them to be more open about things that they wouldn't normally talk about as well. I
Yeah.
think it sort of
100%.
helps sort of makes creators feel a bit more human in that way, where it's like,
Yeah.
on camera, regardless of if you say, oh, I'm just being myself, or like I'm a character, I'm not myself, like if I'm a VTuber or whatever, like
Yeah.
you are performing whenever you are on camera, even though we're just speaking as ourselves right now. There is an
Yeah.
element of performance to it
Oh
Performance.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
that
Yeah.
people tend to not realize. So having people talk about the negative things that they have to deal with when off camera, but candidly to a live audience of people, it helps makes those people in the audience go, okay, so they also have these struggles as well. They are being open about how they deal with them,
Yeah.
and now it's helping me understand how like one comment can have a major impact on someone else's life,
Yeah.
or like if someone says a comment like that to me, how I can then cope with it and then
Yeah.
move on from it and things like that. So it brings people closer to understanding that content creation isn't just, I'm going to point a camera at myself and talk for a bit. There's so much more that goes on, not just with the content itself, but with the way that people respond and interact with those creators. It's very parasocial and can be quite intimidating at points, especially
Yeah.
if you're not someone who is mentally prepared for that. Because some
Yeah.
people go into content creation going, yeah, I like video games, I want to talk about video games. And then when people start commenting or like replying in chat in a way that feels very friendly, and then they're just like, oh, but I don't know you, and now I'm really uncomfortable. Like they're not
Yeah.
prepared for that because
Yeah.
they weren't expecting that to happen. Whereas the panel at Timeless, it it sort of helped to shine a spotlight on those more difficult moments, to just be like, hey, we're human, we deal with all these feelings as well, but we know that talking about it in content isn't always something people want to hear, because they
Mm.
just want the good things or the funny things,
Yeah.
or like whatever your niche is, like if it's games or like makeup or cars or food, they only want that niche. They don't want the stuff where it's like, yeah, so I'm really struggling at the moment, like people were really mean in my last video and I don't know what to do about it. Like people don't want to hear that stuff,
No.
but
Yeah.
then other creators do, because they want to know how to deal with that
Hmm.
and how they can then move forward from it. So it was a panel that was informative for other creators, but also for
Yeah.
people that were looking to get into content creation as well.
Yeah. No, I thought it was like absolutely. Like, I've been doing content for the best part of 3 years now, not to any professional capacity or anything like that, but like if I'd have had a content panel like that when I started, or just a few people to kind of say like, if you're gonna do this, just be aware of these certain things. I feel like it would have put me in good stead, because one of my best performing videos is a video where all the comments are hate comments, because the algorithm likes it, and the more people comment, and the more it pushes it out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Like the more comments you
Yeah.
get, the more it gets pushed out to people, but then it can get pushed out to the wrong people and like,
Wrong
oh,
people.
these people are being negative in the comments. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
jump in as well and also be negative. So it is
Yeah.
very much a double-edged sword that people don't realize a lot of the time.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really thankful that the panel was as successful as it was, and the fact that Mag, middle-aged gamer guy, the person that runs Timeless, trusted me to host that panel as well,
Yeah.
because it was the first more serious panel that I've had to host, because I normally either host like guest interviews, or like content creator interviews, or just like fun like tournaments and competitions and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was the first more serious topic that I handled, but I also wanted to handle it in a way where we could have a bit of a laugh and a joke as well, and also just sort of be a bit lighthearted, but also be like, look, content creation isn't all sunshine and rainbows, and that
Yeah.
needs to be talked about more. Like a lot of content
Yeah.
creator panels are just like, yeah, so we're going to talk about how we build up our brands, or like how to grow as a creator. It's going to all be about numbers and stuff. So having panels that talk about the less glamorous stuff as well is just putting all of the transparency out there and letting people truly understand every aspect of the industry.
100%.
Lovely.
Shall we move on to talking specifically about game and Poetic?
Yes, sure. So, we discussed a lot about you, about your career, and all of that stuff. But this is a gaming podcast. So,
Yes.
first gaming question: what is the holy grail of your gaming collection?
Ooh. Ooh. See, now the ADHD is overthinking that question of like, is it like the best game that I've ever played, or is it like a specific like version of a game, or is it like
So, just to preface it a little bit,
Yeah,
the next question is, what's your all-time favorite
it's your
game?
favorite.
okay,
So,
Yeah,
that helps.
two separate questions,
So
if that helps.
I'm still thinking.
Go for
that's
it. You're
fine.
absolutely fine.
I mean, I want to say like one of my holy grails is that I have the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection signed by Nolan North, Richard McGonigal, and Emily Rose. So
Wow.
Nathan, Sully, and Elena, because I met them at various conventions. I've known Nolan
That's
for about a
nuts.
decade. He's given me a lot of voice acting advice over the years, and we are connected on socials as well. But yeah, at
That's
events, I was just
mental.
like, well, I love Uncharted. I've got a game right here. Do you want to maybe squiggle?
Yep.
And that's exactly how I asked them, by the way, word for word. I didn't. But I want to say that's pretty cool to have that.
That's
That is
very,
very cool.
very cool.
And also, I have my original copy of Pokemon Platinum still in the steelbook case, because apparently no one has the steelbook case anymore. But that
Oh,
I'd
wow.
also
Wow.
say is a holy grail. So I have
Would you say
one that's like
that's-
a personal thing of like, it's signed and it's
Yeah.
awesome. And I just have like an old game that's kept in really good condition.
Yeah. Would you
No,
say that's probably
that
the
is
most expensive thing in your collection, the steelbook?
Ooh, I don't know.
That's not one of the questions. That's just off the top of my head.
Because I also have Heart Gold in its original box as well. But I just like,
bloody hell.
I mean, I have a bias for Platinum, because just everything Sinnoh is just my favorite thing in Pokemon. I don't know why. It just is. Just Sinnoh was like good for my brain. And
Yeah.
also just I think the Steelbook is really cool. But I don't know which one's more valuable. But I have both of those.
That's
We can
very,
make like a
very
visual section. I can go and dig them out.
cool. That's
But
very,
I've realized
very
Oh
it's
cool.
no, that's
a lot already. I
that
don't want to
is
take up more time.
You're absolutely
no,
fine.
that's sick. That is sick.
But somewhere.
Well, Dan revealed my second
Yeah,
question.
sorry.
Prematurely. That's fine. What's your favorite game of all time?
Again, this is another really difficult. All the gaming questions are difficult.
Yep. That's why we put them in.
Wait, and you can't say Fallout 4.
Oh, that's mean. That's very mean.
That makes it even more difficult.
I want to see
It's
if you know my favorite game ever.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Dan.
So if you don't know, Letitia, we have a running theme on this podcast where I try and sneak this game in. Like,
Okay.
so Kingdom Come Deliverance. I don't know if you ever played it.
Okay.
That's the first one, not the
I-
second one.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I haven't played much of the game myself, but like what I have played and like seen other people play of it, it is pretty solid.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm also working very, very hard behind the scenes to try and get a few more of the voice actors from that game on the podcast. We've had one.
That's really cool. I love that. I'm trying to think what my favorite is. Also, you can see my little Nathan Drakes in the background here.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
your background's
One there,
nuts.
and there's one
Yeah.
there, and there's one there. There's another one somewhere there as well. I have like 4 Nathan Drakes just like chilling out there.
Love it.
I mean, Uncharted 3 is one of my favorite games. That's also why I brought up the Nathan Drake collection. It is one of my favorites.
Is that Drake's Deception? Is that 3?
Yeah.
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 Which is the one that a lot of people were kind of like, 2's better. But for me, I found the story of 3 like really good. Like there was a little bit of mess in the middle where they were kind of like, we have a really cool set piece, but we don't know how to put it into the story. Like that you can kind of tell. But like the rest of it I love.
Yeah.
Like the whole psychological aspect of it, the fact that the main villain wasn't just like, yeah, I've got all these guns and I'm gonna go shoot people with them. Like she was very cerebral, very methodical.
Yeah.
I also have cosplayed her because I can sound like her too, so I have a little bit of a bias
That's awesome.
in that regard.
That's sick.
But also because like before Fallout was like my thing, like Uncharted 3 was the game that I played the most. Like everyone at university knew me as the Uncharted girl.
Nice.
Because I would just play those games all the time. Like I would play them on the hardest difficulty just for fun.
Wow.
But I also kind of want to say the original Ratchet and Clank because that was the game that got me into gaming. Like I played a few games before that, but that was the first one where both me and my sister, who's like just over a year older than me, we were both just like, yes, we like this game. Like, so we played it on demo. And then when it actually came out, my dad bought the game. And then it became like a family game that we all just played together, worked together to complete. We then bought all of the other games in the franchise. And like, yeah, I think that was the one that sort of made me go, yeah, I like video games. I like them a lot.
Nice.
Yes, I think it would either be Uncharted 3 or Ratchet and Clank, depending on how you then want to take the context of the question even further.
Yeah.
So one of those two.
With that, and I feel like this is going on quite nicely, what would be your favorite gaming memory? And now, just to clarify, this doesn't necessarily have to be something that happened within a game. It can be a memory that you have surrounded by gaming.
Ooh.
It's another hard question for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because one, I have a lot of memories, and 2, with the ADHD, I know I have the memories, but whether or not I actually remember them is another thing. Ooh, I don't know.
Don't worry, take your time.
I think one of my favorite gaming memories is when Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was like coming out, like just before the launch of it. I was invited by Jinx TV to do a 1-hour first look at the game. This was like for about a week and a half before launch. And that was the first time that I got to make any sort of Ratchet and Clank content that I got to just like play a game early. Like I played a couple of other games early, but like the first time I got to play a Ratchet and Clank game early, and just getting to experience that game, getting to make content on it, getting to fangirl about it as well, because they were like, "We know you like Ratchet and Clank. We're doing a new show where we just look at new games coming out and then we just play them and talk about them and stuff." And just getting to have that experience was a little bit surreal, because I'm like, ooh, I never thought Ratchet and Clank could be a thing that I would be on TV for. I thought, if anything, it would be like Fallout or Pokemon or Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But it was Ratchet and Clank, and I'm like, that's really, really cool. And like, if child me saw future me doing that, they would be like, no way.
That's insane.
Game came out, I was just like, oh, I've already played a little bit of it, so I know what's going to happen. But obviously on stream, I could be like, yeah, so this bit happens and stuff. And like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what happens. I haven't played.
Can I just say, you've had a lot of full circle moments, and it's such a beautiful thing, because like Ratchet and Clank got into gaming, and then like you're on TV because of it, like that.
Yeah.
Wow,
and then like the Fallout 4 to then doing Fallout London thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like,
and then like the streaming to then doing stage hosting. Like it's weird how my life is full of circles. And that's a quote that somebody can put on a t-shirt somewhere for some reason.
Don't worry, I just clipped it, so
just no other context. Just life is full of circles.
Just that life is full of circles. I love it. So is there a game that might not be critically great? So for the majority of people, they dislike the game, or it might not have got the reviews that it deserved, but for you, you love it regardless, and it means a lot to you.
So there are two games that come to mind for different reasons. One of them, so in the Final Fantasy franchise, obviously there's like a bajillion different games. You know, some of them are just like majority like love them. Like, you know, 7 is a very beloved game. A lot of people really like 9 as well. But then there are some games that are, they're not universally hated, but they're just sort of more unpopular. So like Final Fantasy 13, people like, oh, that's the corridor game. But then I'm kind of like, well, actually, there are other games before that are basically glorified corridors as well. Cough, cough, Final Fantasy 10, which a lot of other people really like. But that's also basically like the corridor of 13. But I really like Final Fantasy 12. And that one is a very Marmite Final Fantasy. Like, that is one that sits in the middle of that spectrum of either people really love or people really hate. It's in the middle. But for me, like, literally, if I didn't say Uncharted 3 or Ratchet and Clank for the other question, I would have said Final Fantasy 12. I adore that game. It was the first one that I ever completed. It was my first ever RPG that I ever like played and got invested in. Like, I sort of dipped in and out of a couple of others, but because I was a kid, my brain was like, this is too much reading, too many numbers, go away. But 12 got me hooked. I played it so much. I'm currently doing a 100% run on Final Fantasy 12 on the Switch. So all these events I'm traveling to at the moment, I can just whip out my Switch on a train for a couple of hours and then play that. It's great. But it's such a Marmite game that people either love it or hate it. But I love it so much. Like, I get that people don't like all the menus in it. They don't like the gambit system that you can just turn off if you don't like it. And they're like, oh, the license board is so confusing. It's like, it's not really. It's like a license in real life. Like, you know, if you go to America, you need a license to have a gun. In Final Fantasy 12, if you want to use a gun, you need a license to use it. Like, it makes sense. I don't know why it's so confusing to people. And like, I loved the story, the characters, the world, the music, like everything about that game I absolutely adored. So that's like my first one, because it's like, it kind of counts because like in the middle of that spectrum. But like, I know you said sort of ones that most other people don't like, but I wanted to include that one anyway, because 12 superiority, fight me. Don't actually understand. And the other one, I don't know if it will count or not. It's more of a game that sort of suffered the death by obscurity, where like it's not known by many people, but the people that do know about it love it. And it
Right.
was a
Okay.
game on the PS2 many, many years ago. It did get a modern port a couple of years ago on Switch and PS4/5. But it's Klonoa 2, Lunatea's
Oh
Veil.
wow. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I've not
I know.
played
love
that.
that game. Like Daughter Phantom Isle was very popular on the PS1, but only like mostly in Japan. And then when the
Yeah.
Klonoa franchise came over to like Western audiences like America and the UK and stuff, it wasn't as popular. So the franchise didn't prosper as much because people over here were like, I don't know what this is, I'm not gonna buy it. Like if it's not Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, or Sly Cooper, like
Yeah.
it's not a platformer mascot, so it's not gonna be popular. But
Yeah.
I just remember on the same demo of like Ratchet and Clank, that disc also had the demo of Klonoa 2. There were 2 specific levels on it, and I remember I was so fixated on that game. I loved it so much, and I was just like, I want the full game. But because of how unpopular it was in the UK, it was so difficult to actually buy the physical disc of the game, so I
Yeah.
got to play the whole thing. I remember there was this video game shop in my hometown. It's like it's long since extinct. It does not exist anymore, but it was called Choices. And I
Oh,
remember
I had the
every day
choices.
like going up to like the video game section because it was upstairs and just looking through every PS2 game and I was like, where is Klonoa? It has to be here somewhere. And then when we finally found it, I picked up, I went to my dad, I was like, Dad, look, I found it at last. And then we
Oh,
bought it, played the whole thing, absolutely loved it. When it came out on modern consoles, I was like, oh my gosh, people remembered this thing exists. And then I did the whole game on stream, and everyone was like, oh, what is this game? I've never seen it before. And I'm just like, you're welcome.
yeah. And you probably increased the sales of that game by a lot.
I hope so. It's
Yeah.
just, it's so good. Like, it's a very cute, like little 2.5D platformer. So it's not quite 2D, it's not quite 3D. And like the music is stunning. Like literally when I first heard one of those songs on the remaster, like I was crying on stream. So this brings back so many memories.
Oh,
The levels were really fun. The enemies were like they were actually really cute. So I felt kind of bad like killing them a lot of the time. And it was a story that was like so in depth and so mature for like a bright, colorful, cutesy children's game. Like it was all about like mental health and like
yeah.
discovering who you are as a person and like it had so much depth that it didn't need to have,
yeah.
but it was such an incredible game. So like genuinely, like people, if you have not like heard of Klonoa, if you've not played it and you like platformers, go and play it. It's such a good game. I
I'll
like
have to
Daughter
look it
Phantom Isle
up.
as well, but specifically Klonoa 2. I love that game so much.
It's
Amazing.
actually one of the rarest games.
Yeah,
Klonoa 2 on the PS2.
it really is, but
Oh, wow.
it's so good.
Nice.
I still have my original PS2 copy as well. That took me
Ah,
years to find, but I still have it.
Just so you know, that might be one of the most expensive games in your collection. Just so you know.
Well, I'm not selling it because I want it. I want it on OG hardware too.
Yeah, it's priceless.
That game has brought me so many memories.
Amazing. So sorry, go on.
Before you go on to the feature section, I've just got a very random question, right? So you've mentioned PlayStation, you've also mentioned Nintendo.
Yep.
Any Xbox or PC?
Just
No. Okay.
Like that's not me saying I don't like Xbox. It's more of a case of I spend too much money on games and consoles as is. That I don't have enough
Yeah.
money to invest in another console and its exclusives as well. I want to, but I need more money to do so.
That's
And
fair enough. Yeah.
it is also frustrating that that like Xbox has a lot more cross-play compatibility than PlayStation. So a lot of the time when I'm like, yeah, I'm playing a game on PlayStation, and then everyone else like, oh yeah, well I'm playing it on like PC or Xbox. Like we can play together, and I'm like, but I can't.
Yeah.
So have fun without me. But it's like it's because I grew up with PlayStation first. That sort of gave me the bias of PlayStation over Xbox. Like I have every iteration of PlayStation console. Like, I physically own every iteration of PlayStation console, including the PSP and the Vita. I am one of like 7 people on the entire planet that has a Vita.
I've got a Vita.
Yes! Vita was cool for a while, and then they stopped making them, but I still have mine. The cable is buggered though, so I don't know how much longer it'll last, but I have it. And then my first Nintendo console was the Game Boy Advance, specifically the Pink SP version that does a little flippy thing, and it's really cool. So that sort of then brought me into like the Pokemon gaming obsession. Like, I love Pokemon, like the anime and stuff anyway, but that was my first like Pokemon gaming experience. So it was mostly PlayStation, then all the Nintendo handhelds. Like, I never had any of the other consoles before that.
Consoles, yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of how I progressed into mostly PlayStation and Nintendo.
I love it.
Well, fingers crossed. The next Fallout game comes to PS5. PS5.
That's what scares me.
Yeah,
that's what scares me. I hope it does.
Because like the fact that it took them so long to get Starfield on PlayStation, and I'm just like, what's going to happen with Fallout 5? How am I going to make content on it? But I've been loving playing Starfield on stream. Like, it's a very good game, and I don't understand why people don't like it. Like, it's space Fallout, and I love sci-fi stuff. Like, I'm a big like Doctor Who and Star Trek fan, and I love Fallout. Starfield is just putting them both together. It's a great game. I love it.
Amazing.
I'm not like sponsored by Bethesda or anything, but they just make games that make my brain happy.
Yeah, you should be sponsored by Bethesda if anyone's listening. So we're going to move on to our feature section, and we're going to do our game and last meal before we wrap up, and then you can, you know, ask us any questions or anything like that. So I actually thought of this feature whilst on the drive home from work when I was really hungry. So essentially, imagine that someone has came to you and gone, this is your last day ever gaming. You get a starter, a main, and a dessert. The starter is a mini game or a small game that you can finish within like an hour or two.
Okay.
The main is, you know, the likes of your Starfield, you know, your AAA big massive open world game. And your dessert is something cozy, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a cozy game. It can just be one that makes you feel cozy.
Ooh.
So starting with your starter.
Like, the starter is the one I'm actually like struggling with the most, because I don't normally play that many short games. I gravitate towards RPGs that take me like not just hundreds of hours to complete, sometimes thousands of hours.
Yeah.
I'm legit just trying to think of a short game.
So when I think of like mini games as well, two crop up for me. There's Five Finger Fillet in Red Dead Redemption, or the Liar's Dice in Red Dead Redemption, because I love both of those games. So that would be one of mine.
Or for me, it's Tetris.
Okay.
It's hard.
Mentioning Tetris has given me a thought of an arcade game that I do really, really like, that I did technically beat in like 3 hours, roughly.
Yeah, that counts.
Okay.
But I did mention on somebody else's content at Timeless as well. So I am a big fan of Time Crisis.
Yes.
And they have Time Crisis 3 at Arcane's, which is where we had Timeless. Like, Timeless was at Punch Tami's and Arcane's. And also they have Time Crisis 3 at NQ64 in London. I'm just shouting out all these places now. Y'all are welcome. You can pay me later. But at NQ64, I played all of Time Crisis 3. And like, my player 2 was a rotation of like 5 of my friends who had to keep taking breaks because they couldn't keep up with me. And the fact that
I love that.
I played the whole game and I had a better score than the 5 of them combined. I was like, come on, guys. So I was on like the top 10 there for a little bit. I think I was like 6th or 7th.
Nice.
Oh, there it
thing.
is.
That's wicked.
I'm not even sorry about it.
Love it.
But yeah, that would probably be the starter because like I just locked in with it. I was having so much fun and I was like, you know what? I'm actually pretty good at these arcade shooters.
Love
So
it.
yeah, I think
Love it.
Time Crisis 3 would be the starter, specifically the third one, because that is the
Nice.
one that I beat with all of my friends. The main
I can just see all like there's a little library of games that you're flicking through in your head.
Yeah, just flicking through.
I mean, because you didn't say it this time, I think it's got to be Fallout 4.
Yeah.
That's
You didn't say
fair.
I couldn't
More
say it this
than
time.
fair.
I think it has to be Fallout 4
Yeah.
first. So like I'm thinking about all the other like really good games that I mentioned, but I think it has to be Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And then the
Love it.
dessert, cozy game. I mean, I have some weird games that I would consider as cozy.
Don't worry, mine's Call of Duty. So
Okay, mine's not that weird then. Honestly, I would probably. Oh no, now I've got two. Why am I so indecisive?
You can give us two if you can't decide. That's fine.
It either has to be again the original Ratchet and Clank because that is such a comfort game for me.
Yeah.
Like I've played it probably more than any other game in my entire life, like including the amount of hours I have in Fallout 4. Like I think I've played the original one like so much more. Like I like the whole original Ratchet and Clank trilogy, but it's just the first one has the most amount of nostalgia for me. And that is a game that I played most on the Vita as well. The 10 games that are on the Vita, most of mine are like the Ratchet and Clank trilogy and the Sly trilogy. Nice. So I'm just like, you know, gotta have my childhood classics in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, either the original Ratchet and Clank or probably Pokemon Legends Arceus. I like Xenos, but Legends Arceus, I think, to me, is like the perfect Pokemon game. Like it had such a good balance of like it had the open world aspects, but they were like segmented in a way where it's like this is the low level area. You should be here at this point. Whereas in Scarlet and Violet, just like it's open world, but it's still like you got to go like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like there was still a very obvious structure. The open world was very like chaotic there.
Yeah.
But also again with Legends Arceus being set in Sinnoh, I do have a little bit of a Sinnoh bias. But I also like the battle mechanics. I liked sort of exploring the history of the Sinnoh region, and not to spoil it for people that for some reason have not played the game yet. The ending. Oh my goodness. That battle. I loved it. It was cinema. Absolute cinema. And that is all I'm saying on that because I do not want to spoil it. But my goodness, when the penny dropped, I was just like, oh, hell, this is going to be something. And it was.
Just so you know, I just clipped you doing absolute cinema, and that's going to be the end of the podcast. Just at the end, absolute cinema.
I specifically did it for the meme.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that moment in Legends Arceus, I was like, that is just pure art. But yeah, I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't played it. It's just it's that good of a moment that I'm like, if you've not played it, you need to experience it firsthand without being spoiled.
Yeah. Okay, so that kind of wraps up our questions for you. Do you have anything that you would like to ask us? And it can be together, it can be individual questions, it can be about gaming, it can be a bit more deeper, anything you want.
Yeah.
Well, because you've asked me about all of my favorite games and the ones that mean the most to me and stuff. Obviously, you both sort of said games that you like, and like you said that your favorite game is Kingdom Deliverance. Like, I want to know more about why they're your favorite games, and I will judge you accordingly. I don't know what scale I'm judging it on. Just know I'm judging.
Okay. Do you want me to go first, Poetic, or you?
It's up to you.
Okay, I'll go first. So the reason I like Kingdom Come Deliverance is it is very open ended. It's the first game that I played where it was like, this is your quest. You can do it however you like. There's one quest where you have to sneak into a monastery and pretend to be a monk. Now, to like assassinate someone in the game, and I found out very recently that you can actually go to a tower, and if you're a very good shot with a bow and arrow, you can actually see into the monastery and you can just take them out. So you can just completely skip that entire mission. Or like you can lockpick your way out the monastery, go get a load of guards, get them in, and it's just I like games where it's like my decisions shape the
Mm.
character because I feel like it's
Yeah.
more like I get more out of it. But then there's the opposite scale. Like at the minute, I'm playing UFC 6, and
Mm.
I absolutely love that because it's just I can play that on the couch with my missus, watching TV, and I don't really have to concentrate on it. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's two opposite ends of the scale for me for like what I like in games, and I want games to
Mm.
give me a certain thing. Like I'll play Kingdom Come Deliverance if I've got like a spare 4 hour slot that I know I can really dive into the game. But UFC is just like if I've got an hour,
Yeah.
you know.
Have you played Baldur's Gate 3 at all?
Yes, I have never finished it. I have played multiple campaigns. I know it's bad. I've played a
It's
few
so good.
campaigns. Um, and I'd get to a set. I think I get very early, but to me, because I like getting everything in games, I think that's why I
Yeah.
struggled with it. Because
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate 3 is not meant to be played to get everything. You're meant to
yeah,
play
there's
it
so
and miss
many
stuff.
things that I missed in my playthrough. I was like, this is my first playthrough. I'm gonna stream it. I'm gonna try and do everything that I can." And then watching like one of my favorite YouTubers play through it now, he's finding so many things that I didn't find, and I was like, "How? I thought I
Yeah,
looked at everything." But yeah,
yeah,
that game has like so many options, so many outcomes for things that like I both loved it, but also got very overwhelmed by it.
yeah.
Like there was
I was
so
the
Mm.
many
same.
decisions to make, and like I deliberately liked to annoy my chat where like if there was a boss fight that I could skip, I would skip it.
Oh
My
yeah,
favorite thing in Baldur's Gate 3 is using an arrow of roaring thunder to just yeet an enemy into an abyss and just not have to
yeah,
fight them. And they're like, "Oh, but you're throwing away all this unique loot." I'm like, "Yeah, but I didn't have to spend like 3 hours trying to figure out how to fight them because my brain doesn't do strategic combat." So
Yeah.
I just saved you guys 3 hours of suffering psychic damage from my inability to plan things. You're welcome.
nice. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, BG3 was
Um.
such a good game. It just lived in my head rent free for so long.
oh yeah. It's amazing.
So good.
Uh.
Now I want to know
Gosh.
yours, Poetic. Tell me and I will
It's
wait.
It's a bit of a hard one. But I will go with um Beautiful Joe on the GameCube,
Okay.
and the reason why, um, at the time I was really in. Well, I'm still really into video games, but I was into video games. I was into comic books, and that kind of like meshed the two together, and it was just so cool because I was like, holy fuck, this is a comic book, and I'm playing, and it looks so great. And to this day, I don't think any other game has been able to replicate that so well.
Mm.
Um, and I just took a lot away from playing that game. Um, Dan and I and Still Gaming OT, this other content creator, we did this thing about our top 10 games. And just looking back at all the games I've played that made it into my top 10, I've taken a lot from it, but Beautiful Joe was the one that I took the most from. And it was a very simple lesson, which was ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Not sure if you've played the game, but essentially, you go to a movie theater
Mm.
and the bad guy in the movie basically kidnaps your girlfriend, and then you have to go into the movie and rescue her. And then
Okay.
as you progress, you get more and more abilities and stuff. And yeah, it was just a sick game.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I've not played it, but that sounds awesome. Like when you said about sort of games that sort of replicated like that comic book kind of style. It made me think of the Deadpool game that was on like PS3 and
Yeah.
Xbox. That
Yeah,
one
that
sort
was
of that was
amazing.
a really interesting one as well, like, with the amount of fourth wall breaks in it and stuff. Like that
Yeah.
was the only game that I could kind of think of like that, where I'm like, oh yeah, you might have a
Yeah.
point there. There's not many that do that. And
Do
also,
that.
once
No.
again, shout out to Nolan North, you know, with all the voices that he's done. But yeah, that was an interesting game. The fact that like that's not like available anymore, and I still have my copy of that. Teehee. But yeah, like that's sort of the only one that I could think of in that style. But like the way that you sort of explained the story and like the moral of it, like it
Yeah.
has me very intrigued by it, because like I don't
It's
know too much about like GameCube specific games, because like
yeah.
as I said, I was PlayStation and like handheld Nintendo. So I'm
Yeah.
really curious, but I kind of want to like look it up after we're done here.
Yeah.
No,
It,
please do. It is a fantastic game. It's a 2D side-scrolling game.
Okay,
But yeah, it's wicked.
nice, yeah. And like,
awesome.
what sort of games were like ones that you guys like grew up with? Because like for me, I actually grew up with a lot of like platformers and collectathons, and
Mm.
then sort of when I like matured and like became a teenager, that's sort of when I like hyper fixated more on the RPGs. Like you were saying, Dan, like sort of having the two completely different types of games
Yeah.
to play. The ones where you can just do whatever in, and then the ones where it's like I can just switch my brain off and play. Like the switch my brain off and play ones were like the Ratchet and Clanks, the Sly Coopers, like the SpongeBob and the Scooby Doo games on the PS2 as well. Like just running around and collecting things. Like I loved those, and then I sort of adapted more as like, ooh, RPGs. There's story and there's like characters that have emotions and stuff. And then I got way more invested in those kinds of games. So I want to
Yeah.
know if like the games that you guys played as a kid sort of helped shape your interest in gaming as an adult, or if like those interests have sort of changed over time.
Um,
It's a great question.
for me,
This is
I
why I do
mean,
hosting. I come up with great questions to
yeah,
ask
that's a
people.
good one. I mean,
Yeah.
answering the question in kind of like two parts, I guess. The games that I played when I was a child were based on what mum and dad played, because they literally, like, as soon as I would go down to bed as a baby, they would be on until 3 o'clock in the morning playing Tomb Raider, or like,
Fair
but
enough.
I played what I like to call the kind of the holy trinity of like three games that I loved back then, and it was Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and Rayman, and they were like,
Valid.
yeah, they were. I mean, Spyro just is a collectathon. Like, like you can play Spyro, know nothing about the story, and just, oh, there's dragons that are frozen. We don't really know why, and we don't know why you're the only one that hasn't
Yeah.
been frozen,
Mm.
but you're gonna go and save them. And I was like, okay, let's go get all the gems. Let's get all the things. Oh, I've missed that one thing. I've got to go all the way back. I loved that kind of thing. And then I suppose now I still enjoy my collectathons. Like at the minute, I'm trying to platinum every single Assassin's Creed game ever made.
Oh wow.
Which, if you played the Assassin's Creed games, some of the later ones like Odyssey, they can be massive collectathons.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I haven't quite. I'm on Assassin's Creed 3, so I'm not quite on the big open world ones. But I suppose one thing that stuck with me is if a game is fun, I'll play it, regardless of whether that's, FIFA, or if it's Skyrim, or if it's a deep game, or if it's just a little throwaway game. If it looks fun, I'll play it. And I've tried to like keep that. Like sometimes I'll get, emails off developers saying, hey, here's a Steam key, try my game. And if it looks fun, I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll do a little stream on it or whatever. And but I try and keep that as like the baseline. I try not to think I
Yeah.
have to play an RPG. I have to play this. If it's fun, I'll play it. That's kind of my only real like principle, I guess, when it comes to gaming.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
So
like for
Yeah.
me, like that's why I like a lot of RPGs as well as the collectathons, because most RPGs have something that you collect as well. So
oh
it's
yeah,
like at the core of
Yeah.
it, I like games where I get things and I can hoard them like a little gremlin.
Yeah.
Give
For
me
me, I'm not 100% sure. Well, I've got two things that definitely stem from childhood. So my first console was an N64, and it was Super Mario 64. And
great
then, yeah, fantastic game. And then I I distinctly remember. Obviously, I had games in between this, but then I distinctly remember getting The Legend of Zelda.
Mm.
And then my cousin had a PS1, and then distinctly remember playing a Final Fantasy on there. And then I was like, I don't understand why this is turn-based. Like, it just completely put me off because I was like, I don't understand why I can't just go and attack. Like, what is
Yeah,
this? And
I
that's
relate.
definitely skewed my view of turn-based video games. Like, I just don't like them. Um, Apart from Clear Obscure, which fantastic game. And then the other thing that definitely stems from my childhood is I basically I own. Whoa, Dan's getting angry. He's punching.
Sorry.
um, so I basically own um every like normal home console that's been made since I've been born, and
Nice.
that stemmed from my childhood because I distinctly remember like getting a GameCube and then seeing like Halo and then basically being like, oh, I really want to play this game. This looks sick. And then being like, I don't understand why it's not on the GameCube. I'm gonna have to go buy an Xbox. And so I went and got an Xbox. And then a few years after that, I wanted to play like Metal Gear Solid. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get a PS2 then. And then
Mm.
that's just been something that I've carried with me till now, where it's like I will just if I want to play something and it's on said platform, I will just go and get it.
Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
So
totally relate to like the turn-based thing. Like the only game that I really sort of was like, okay, turn-based makes sense, that's fine, is Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah,
Because I'm
yeah,
just like, yeah, because like you're having like an official battle with someone. So it's like you have to take turns for like the legality of the matches. And then like when you
yeah, yeah,
go and battle like the Elite Four and Champion, like that makes sense for me. When I played the older Final Fantasies, I was also like, why is it turn-based? I don't like this, it's stressful. Which is why I like 12 as my favorite Final Fantasy, because
yeah,
it's not exactly turn-based, but it's also not turn-based because it's
Mm.
yeah,
all based sort of on speed essentially, which is your AP. So it's like if you can recharge your AP quicker than the enemy, then you can get like 3 attacks in before they attack you once. So that game is
yeah,
all about like getting the speedy attacks in and then like using magic at the right times as well. So
Yeah.
it has elements of turn-based in it, but it's not completely turn-based. And that's kind of what I liked about that one. So going back to older Final Fantasies, I was just like, this feels weird now. I don't like it. Like great games, but I'm still like, nah, it's weird. So I like how when they did the remake of Final Fantasy VII, like the fact that it was real-time combat. Like I love
yeah,
that. I really liked the combat in 15 as well. So having that same combat in the 7 remake, I was like, this feels great for me. This is exactly what I want. Like I can even like sneak up on enemies if I want to and then just smack them with the Buster Sword. And like I liked that so much more than be like, oh, just the random enemy popped up out of nowhere. Okay, now I'm gonna wait for them to attack me first because
yeah, exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how it is. And then okay, yeah, I'll hit them back. And I pressed the wrong button. I'm doing the wrong thing. Whereas in the remake, you can just like just smack things over and over until they die. It's awesome.
I like it. So
Okay, I've successfully judged both
yes,
of your decisions on my questions.
yes. And
And
how did we
my
do?
conclusion is you have very valid tastes in video games, and I respect that. It will be mostly a case of like the only games I'll probably judge people on will be like if like you only said stuff like COD or FIFA and like nothing
Yeah.
else at all. Because
oh yeah,
like I respect the people that put in like hundreds and thousands of hours into games like that to like build the best squad for FIFA to play against other players or like
yeah,
be the best Call of Duty player. But I'm also like, there are so many incredible like single player narrative experiences,
100%,
or
yeah.
like really fun multiplayer adventures that you can have, that it's like people shouldn't miss out on those just because they want to be really good at like one or two specific other games. Like, it's not me saying, yeah, because I don't like those games, you're not allowed to like them. It's a case of, yeah, be great at those games, that's awesome, but also there's so many other things out there too. And also, it's like I can't talk because I have thousands of hours in Fallout 4, but that's different if I'm not playing against other players. But the point is that I like when people say a variety of different games and not just like, yeah, I only play like a Tekken, or I only play Call of Duty or whatever, or I only play like Fortnite. Like, it's nice to hear that variety there. There's some very, very underrated games there as well, so I like that.
Glad we got your approval.
Yes. It means nothing, but it was just fun to do because it makes me feel important, even though I have no sway in this whatsoever.
You are important.
Cool. Shall we sign off then, Poetic?
Yeah, I mean, we'll let you have a moment just to let the audience know where they can find you and stuff.
So, you can probably find me at like pretty much every Comic-Con and gaming event in the country. Sometimes I'm on stage, sometimes I'm not. So if you literally want to find me, I'll be there. I also do a lot of hosting with UK card shows, so I host at a lot of their events, or like other just generic card shows. Sometimes I host at some of them, sometimes I just go there as a creator. So you'll probably find me looking at shiny cardboard and debating how much of my bank account I want to throw at all of the shiny cardboard. But online, you can find me. I'm mostly on Instagram these days at Letitia Lemon. I try to be a reliable content creator and actually put things on there, but with my ADHD, that's a whole different story. But I'm mostly on there. I am still on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's still Twitter to me. I'm also on there as Letitia Lemon, but I don't really post on there much anymore. But you can find my random ramblings on there. I'm also on Twitch. That's where I do my live streaming. That's just Letitia Lemon. There's a whole story about why it's not Letitia the Lemon. And I'm also on TikTok as Tish Lemon, because they wouldn't let me have Letitia because it's a banned word. So yeah.
Wow.
Think about the spelling of my name, Dan.
Right. Yeah. Got it.
They wouldn't let me. So I'm like, cool, just my TikTok is the only one that's completely different. I don't understand short form content that well. So I am on TikTok. I don't post there much and I don't have many followers, but I'm on there. But yeah, Twitch, my schedule is very irregular. So you will find me on there at some points, on some days, at some times. Mostly at the moment, how many events that I'm doing that I can't give a schedule. But once all of the event stuff dies down a little bit, I will be on there more and for longer and actually making progress in all these games that I said I would finish this year and have not. But yeah, the reason why my Twitch is so different than the other ones is because I do actually own a channel called Letitia the Lemon on Twitch, but it's associated with an email address that no longer exists anymore. And because Twitch support is very selective about the things that they actually deal with and the like reports that they look at, they've just never bothered to like look into it for me and give me access to that account again. And because I've been on Twitch so long as just Letitia Lemon now, I'm like, if I try to change it now, then people just get confused with like who to raid, and they'll just raid another channel that doesn't exist anymore. So I've just stuck with it, basically. So yeah.
Fair enough.
That's where you can find me on all of the things. I don't really do YouTube. I should, but I don't have time and the ADHD. I'm just like, I can't spend that long editing stuff. So yeah, Instagram, X, Twitch, and TikTok. Yeah.
Nice.
Love it. Well, Letitia, thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It's been amazing, insightful, and hilarious. So thank you so much.
You. That's what I aim to be, insightful yet funny. Like, I will say some smart things, but I will also say some really stupid funny things too. But thank you guys so much for letting me be on here to talk about like my career, my gaming interests, a little bit about the ADHD and mental stuff as well. It is still something that I'm like coming to terms with myself. So I'm a little bit more open about it, but it's still like me understanding it myself before I figure out what to say about it to other people. But it was very nice to just sort of be able to air it a little bit more, as well as just like talking about how it plays into my career a little bit. Because of like all the other things that I sort of tried to do, as I said at the start, where I was like, I explored all these different avenues and couldn't find one that stuck. And then I found the one that stuck. But it stuck with me because it works with how my brain works. Because it's like when I'm on stage, I just have to focus while I'm on stage. Then when I'm off stage, I can switch my brain off for a little bit and then let it cool down from having to like have all these thoughts in it. And then go back on stage, switch it back on, switch it back on and off. That sort of just it made sense for why that was the thing that I gravitated towards. And like just getting to talk about that and like all these other awesome games that I love playing and all these like crazy things that I'm very lucky enough to have done in my life, even though it's been a very messy career. Like it's been really nice just getting to talk about it and be grateful about it and, you know, just share my nerdy passions. So like thank you so much, Dan, for inviting me onto the podcast. It's been so much fun talking to you both. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
No,
thank you so much. And with that being said, I couldn't have ended it in a more beautiful way myself. Happy gaming.